Welcome everyone to the John Norman Leadership Podcast. This is episode 12, bringing you content each month directly to your devices. And I want to encourage you to keep lifting the level of your leadership. And as you lift your leadership, others will rise around you. And if you like what you hear today, please share it, tag someone in it, like it, do whatever you can to get the word out. And I know that these tools can help people, especially in the challenging times that we're all facing. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else has felt this emotion over the past few months, but I have, and it's the emotion of wanting to quit. I'm told that over 25% of people in this country have either considered quitting when it comes to anything from relationships to marriage, their business, to their church. And so I just wanted to address this subject today on the podcast and address it this side of quitting. So I'm calling this just before you quit. So maybe you are literally on the cusp of handing in your notice, letting your pastor know you're leaving the church, about to text someone, the relationship's over. And this isn't to persuade you to stay in any of those areas of your life, but I want you almost just to think twice before you hit the button. Think twice before you have the conversation. I don't think anybody should have to stay where they are forever. And I also think there's a big difference between quitting and finishing. And there are seasons of my life where I've finished. We spent 6.5 years in South Africa helping build a great church and a charity down there in Cape Town, and we finished that season, started this brand new season in Norwich, England. So, but there are a lot of people right now, because of the circumstances we're facing, COVID-19 here in 2021, that people are wanting to quit. And so I just really want to challenge that, and I want to help you just think about 7 different thoughts to really just provoke you think a little bit more, help you think a little bit wider. And maybe you'll press pause on that decision, or maybe it is the right decision. This is a season you're going to finish strong. So these can be applied to marriage. It can be applied to your business, your church, your relationship. And there's right reasons for finishing, and there's bad reasons for quitting. So I want to give you some really just practical tips around finishing well, or just processing the thought of quitting. Number 1 is this, and I've talked about this in a previous podcast, but I think it's really applicable to where we're at. Number 1 is this: remember, never leave your seat during turbulence. You can get hurt. I don't know about you, but I have been on airplanes where I have left my seat during turbulence, gone against the health and safety mandate for the aircraft, and I have hurt my head, desperate for the bathroom. And so, in this season, this is 2021, and it's not good, is it? We're in turbulence. A lot of people tragically have lost their life. A lot of people have lost family members. People are mourning. People are sick. People are scared. People are full of fear. And so really, the context of where we're at is right now, it's not good. We're in lockdown in the UK. But the good news is it will get better. There is a vaccine on the horizon, but we have to ride out the storm. Every airplane I've ever been on and turbulence has hit, as painful as it is I don't like turbulence. I'm not the guy who thinks, this is, a free roller coaster ride. That's not me. I like a still, calm ride home. And so I want to encourage you not to quit during turbulence. I know a lot of people who are just being very reactionary right now with their decisions, but please, I'm almost urging you, don't quit during turbulence. Wait till the seas are calmer. Wait till the storm has passed, and then you can think through this decision more. So number 1, never leave your seat during turbulence. Number 2, remember you're doing better than you think you are. I think if we're honest, we're all struggling right now. I'm yet to meet anyone who's just loving this season, okay? This is a tough season. Maybe you're running a business and you're trying to teach your child maths. That was me today. Maybe you're trying to do a whole lot of things that you're not feel qualified right now. But I think you need to give yourself a little bit more credit than you deserve, or than you feeling that you deserve. I think surviving this season has got to be the goal. I'm a sort of a big faith guy. I'm very positive. The glass is always, it's always half full in my mind, not half empty. But I honestly think right now the goal is to survive this season. The next 6 weeks, especially if you're in lockdown in the country, we need to get through this together. And, often we talk about thriving or surviving, but I think this is a season where we need to get to survive. And how we're going to survive is to keep telling ourselves we're doing better than we think you are. Maybe you're in your car right now and you're driving to work and you're thinking, I can't do another today. I want to just encourage you that you are doing a whole lot better than you think you are. That's one of the strap lines I tell myself regularly. Maybe some of you need to write it on the fridge, write it on your wrist, write it somewhere where you're going to see it today. But I'm doing better than I think I am. Don't quit today. Don't quit on a bad day. I want to encourage you, the sun will shine again. And remember, you're doing better than you think you are. Number 3 is this. Remember how passionate you were when you started. The mission hasn't changed, only the circumstances. Before we quit, we need to remember and reflect and look back on why we started the job, why we began the business, why we joined the church, why we got together in that relationship, the dreams, the desires, the ideas, and question, has the mission changed? Because I don't think the mission has changed. I just think the circumstances have changed. For Chantel and I, my wife and I in this season, we have this dream of building a new purpose-built facility for our church, a 1,200-seater auditorium, facilities for the community, facilities to help the homeless in our city. But with all the circumstances right now, it feels like everything's stacked against us. What I've realized is if I focus on the circumstances, I soon get disillusioned. I soon lose hope. I've got to get my eyes back on the mission. Why are we building the new church? We're building the new church so we can help more people in our city. So the question is, are your eyes on the circumstances right now, on all the things that are not happening, on all the things you don't have? Maybe you just need to fix your eyes back onto the mission, why you started the business, because you believe that there was a product. You believe that you were passionate enough about that product that it could help some people. Or you joined in that relationship because you love that person, and maybe the challenges of lockdown and maybe the circumstances surrounding all the situations we face have put pressure on that marriage, put pressure on that relationship. Maybe we just need to pull back, step back, and get some perspective back onto the mission, why we started. Number 4, got to remember that quitting is the very last option. It is an option, but it's the last option. I want to challenge you before you quit. Have you exhausted every last option before you press that send button to your employer? Before you pick up the phone and quit? Have you exhausted every last option? Have you talked to your small group leader, your pastor, your mentor, your vicar? These are some of the questions because, I'd much rather talk to you this side of the situation than the other side. I'm a Christian and I love sharing my faith with people. I understand that many of my listeners, you don't necessarily follow the Bible, you're not a Christian, that's fine. But I just want to share this thought, because one of the factors I always have before I quit or before I make a decision is this. I ask myself this question: do you have a peace? Now, I believe that the peace is what God brings into my life, but I don't want to make a decision if I don't have peace about it. Peace and happiness are very different. Happiness is what's happening around us. Peace is what happens inside of us. And I would encourage you, before you quit, do you have peace? Do you have peace? And if you don't, maybe consider parking the situation, parking the decision for a while. Be brave. And maybe if you're really emotionally attached to the decision, maybe ask someone or speak to someone you trust to make the decision for you. Sometimes we get so emotionally involved in a situation and we get overcome by emotion that we lose perspective. And sometimes we can bring others in the organization, others in the church, in and say, hey, what would you do if you were in my situation? Because they don't have that emotional attachment, they're probably going to make a better, wiser decision than I would. Number 5, I hope this is helping, by the way. Remember, never make a permanent decision based on temporary circumstances. Temporary circumstances are what we're all facing right now. For some of you, you've been locked out of your business, your kids are running around and at home, and it's challenging and it messes with our emotions. I wonder though, how many people will look back on 2020 or 2021, however long this is going to last, and wish they hadn't quit because we made that permanent decision based on temporary circumstances. A wise person once told me, John, if you're going to quit, quit on a good day. Never quit when circumstances are going bad. So I'd encourage you again, just challenge your thinking. Am I quitting right now? Am I going to regret it in a few weeks or a few months' time? And number 6, again, this is attached to my faith in Jesus. Remember that God's not forgotten about you. You know, character is forged in adversity. I think that for me, that so much of the pain and the challenges that we're all facing right now is preparation for our future. I found out more about myself, more about my leadership, and you found out more about yourself and your leadership in 2020 and the first half of 2021 than maybe the previous 41 years of our lives. I've discovered what really matters. I've discovered what I'm truly grateful for. I've discovered who my friends are. And it's all part of my preparation. I want to encourage you, don't quit before the meal's ready. Don't quit before you've birthed that idea. Don't quit before you've made it. Number 7, we're going to conclude here. Remember, every storm in history has come to an end, and so will this one. This isn't our forever, okay? This is not for our forever. Masks, social distancing, queues, lack of the necessities we need at the supermarket. This is not our forever. It's a setback, but it will end. I want to encourage you, keep a cool head, keep a perspective. Every day we're a day closer to coming back to whether it's an old normal, a new normal. I'm not sure what it's going to be. All I know is every storm in history will come to an end, and so will this one. And I really wanted to use this podcast, this first podcast of 2021, really just encourage you to think, maybe just to shift your paradigms a little bit on quitting. And I want you to know I'm cheering you on. I know I've never met you. Maybe I'll never meet you, but I want my voice to help you today. I want this message to help you. I want you to really think carefully before you quit. Would you do me a favor? Maybe you know someone close to you. Maybe you know someone at work or someone in your business who's considering quitting. Maybe they're on the verge of pressing that button today, sending that email. Would you share this with them before they do that, just to help them gain a little perspective? And hang in there, folks. We're going to make it. And remember, God is with you and God is for you. Keep lifting the level of your leadership. And as you do, others will rise around you. Take care. God bless.
I'd value your commitment by liking it, sharing it, subscribing to it, commenting on it, and sharing it with your teams. Remember, you are your only limit, and this podcast is to lift the level of your leadership, and as you rise, others will rise around you.